Dr. Mark Thompson stared at the impossible readings on his computer screen. After 15 years of theoretical work on faster-than-light travel, the numbers finally made sense. The quantum field generator in his lab hummed quietly, creating a small bubble of warped space-time that defied everything the scientific community thought they knew. "It actually works," he whispered to his assistant, Kate Williams. She leaned over his shoulder, her eyes wide with disbelief. The device was simple in design, but revolutionary in function. By manipulating quantum fields at the subatomic level, it created a pocket of space where the laws of physics bent just enough to allow objects to exceed the speed of light. Thomson had stumbled upon the solution while studying ancient mathematical equations from a crashed meteorite found in Antarctica 3 months ago. Within hours, news of the breakthrough reached the highest levels of government. General Roberts arrived at the facility with a team of scientists and military advisors. The implications were staggering. Humanity could finally reach the stars. How fast can it go? Roberts asked, studying the prototype device. In theory, there's no upper limit, Thomson replied. We could reach Alpha Centauri in days instead of decades. The first test flight was scheduled for the following week. A small probe equipped with the FTL drive would attempt to reach Mars and return within hours. The world watched as humanity prepared to take its first step into the galactic community. Unknown to Earth, their breakthrough had already been detected. Across the galaxy, ancient monitoring stations registered the distinctive energy signature of a new FTL civilization. The signal traveled through established communication networks, reaching species that had been spacefaring for thousands of years. On the planet Vega Prime, Ambassador Kell received the alert with mixed emotions. Another primitive world had discovered FTL travel. The Galactic Council would need to decide whether to make contact or observe from a distance. They're from the Sol system, his aide reported. Third planet from their star. They call themselves humans. Kell reviewed Earth's preliminary data. The species was young, aggressive, and had only recently developed nuclear technology. They had fought countless wars among themselves and had barely begun to explore their own solar system. Most concerning was their tendency toward violence and territorial expansion. Schedule a council meeting, Kell ordered. This requires immediate attention. Meanwhile, Earth's probe successfully completed its test flight to Mars. The journey that should have taken months was completed in 6 hours. Celebrations erupted around the world as humanity realized the universe was now within their reach. President Jackson addressed the nation that evening. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in human history. We are no longer bound to our home planet. The stars themselves are calling to us. Construction began immediately on humanity's first FTL starship. The vessel, named Pioneer, would carry a crew of 50 volunteers to the nearest star system. Scientists worked around the clock to refine the technology and prepare for the journey ahead, but not everyone was excited about the discovery. Dr. Lisa Chun, a xenobiologist at the United Nations, raised concerns about what they might find in space. "We have no idea what's out there," she warned during a televised debate. "We could be walking into a situation we're not prepared for." Her warnings were largely ignored as humanity's excitement overshadowed caution. The Pioneer was completed in record time, incorporating the latest advances in FTL technology. Captain James Mitchell was chosen to lead the historic mission. As the launch date approached, strange signals began appearing on Earth's radio telescopes. The patterns were too complex to be natural phenomena, suggesting they were of artificial origin. Scientists debated whether the signals were attempts at communication or something else entirely. 3 days before launch, the signals suddenly stopped. Space monitoring stations reported unusual energy readings at the edge of the solar system. Something was approaching Earth at impossible speeds. General Roberts convened an emergency meeting with world leaders. "We're not alone," he announced grimly, "and it appears they know about our FTL breakthrough." The Pioneer mission was placed on hold as humanity prepared for first contact. Military forces around the world went on high alert. Telescopes focused on the approaching energy signatures, trying to determine the intentions of whoever was coming. Thompson worked frantically to improve Earth's defenses, modifying his FTL technology for potential military applications. If humanity was about to meet alien civilizations, they needed to be ready for any possibility. As the chapter closes, massive ships decloak at the edge of the solar system. They are sleek, advanced, and clearly not of human origin. Humanity's greatest achievement had announced their presence to the galaxy, and now they would face the consequences of joining the cosmic community, whether they were ready or not. Asterisk. Alien fleet consisted of 12 vessels, each larger than Earth's biggest aircraft carriers. They moved with grace and purpose, taking position around the outer planets. Their technology was clearly superior to anything humanity possessed, yet they made no aggressive moves. President Jackson stood in the Situation Room, surrounded by military advisors and scientists. The weight of humanity's future rested on the decisions made in the next few hours. "They're broadcasting on multiple frequencies," reported Communications Officer Lisa Park. "The message is being translated by our computers now." The alien transmission was surprisingly straightforward. A tall, blue-skinned being appeared on the main screen. His features were humanoid, but clearly not human. When he spoke, the translation software converted his words into perfect English. "People of Earth, I am Commander Vex of the Galactic Council. Fleet, we have detected your recent achievement in faster-than-light travel. This marks your species' eligibility for contact with the galactic community." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the implications. They were not alone, and the galaxy had been waiting for them to develop FTL technology. "We request permission to establish diplomatic relations," Vex continued. "One of our ships will approach your planet for peaceful negotiations. We understand. This may be overwhelming for your species." General Roberts turned to the President. "Sir, we need to respond carefully. This could be humanity's most important moment." President Jackson nodded and stepped forward to address the alien commander. "Commander Vex, on behalf of Earth and humanity, we welcome peaceful contact. You have permission to approach for diplomatic discussions." Within hours, a single alien vessel descended through Earth's atmosphere, landing in a carefully prepared area outside Geneva. The ship was beautiful, its hull seeming to shimmer with internal light. As the boarding ramp lowered, 3 figures emerged. Commander Vex was accompanied by 2 other aliens, each from different species. One resembled a large insect with crystalline wings, while the other appeared almost plant-like with green, bark-textured skin. The diversity was startling. Dr. Thompson watched the proceedings on television from his laboratory. The aliens seemed genuinely peaceful, but their advanced technology was both impressive and intimidating. He wondered how humanity would fare. In a galaxy filled with such civilizations, the negotiations took place in a specially constructed facility, with representatives from every major nation present. Commander Vex explained the basic structure of galactic civilization. Over 3,000 species belonged to the Galactic Council, trading resources, knowledge, and culture across hundreds of star systems. "Your species shows great promise," Vex told the assembled delegates. "However, you must understand that FTL technology comes with responsibilities. The galaxy has rules that all members must follow." The primary rule was simple. No species could use FTL technology to harm or conquer others. Violations resulted in immediate quarantine and the removal of FTL capabilities. Many species had lost their star travel privileges for breaking this fundamental law. We also noticed something unusual about your FTL drive, added the insect-like alien, who introduced herself as Keeper Zill. The energy signature is unlike anything we've seen before. Most species discover FTL through one of 3 established methods. Your approach appears to be entirely new. This revelation excited the human scientists present. Earth's unique discovery might give them an advantage in galactic society. Dr. Thompson was brought in to explain the quantum field manipulation technique he had developed. Fascinating, Commander Vex said after reviewing Thompson's data. This could revolutionize space travel for all species. The Council will be very interested in this development. However, not all the news was positive. The plant-like alien, Elder Oak, delivered a warning that chilled the human delegates. Your species has a reputation for violence and conquest, Oak explained. We have been monitoring your radio transmissions for decades. Your wars, your weapons, your treatment of your own planet concerns many Council members. Some species wanted to quarantine Earth immediately, preventing humanity from spreading into the galaxy until they proved they could be peaceful. Others argued that contact and guidance would help humans evolve beyond their aggressive tendencies. Asterisk. We have decided to give you a chance, Vex announced. But you will be closely monitored. Any acts of aggression against other species will result in immediate isolation. The meeting concluded with an agreement for cultural and scientific exchange. Earth would receive basic galactic technology and knowledge while providing their unique FTL research to the Council. A permanent alien embassy would be established on Earth, and human ambassadors would be invited to visit the galactic capital. As the alien ship departed, humanity processed the enormity of what had occurred. They were now part of a vast galactic civilization, but their violent history made them the newest and most watched members of the cosmic community. President Jackson addressed the world that evening. Today, humanity joined something greater than ourselves. We must prove that we deserve our place among the stars. Asterisk 6 months after first contact, Earth had transformed dramatically. The alien embassy in Geneva buzzed with activity as human scientists learned galactic technologies. Anti-gravity systems, energy shields, and advanced materials became part of daily life. Yet humanity remained on probation, watched carefully by Council observers. Captain Mitchell finally received clearance for the Pioneer mission, but with new restrictions. The ship could only visit uninhabited systems, and Council monitors would accompany the crew. The goal was to demonstrate that humans could explore space without causing harm. Dr. Thompson continued refining his FTL technology with alien assistance. The Council's top scientists were amazed by his quantum field approach. Traditional FTL required massive energy consumption and left detectable traces across space. Thompson's method was clean, efficient, and nearly undetectable. Your discovery could change everything, admitted Chief Scientist Nala, a tall alien with silver skin and forearms. Travel between distant galaxies might become possible with this technology. However, not everyone in the galaxy welcomed humanity's potential. On the war-torn planet of Draxus, General Kor received disturbing reports about the new species. The Draxian Empire had been fighting a losing war against the Council for decades, and they saw opportunity in Earth's situation. These humans are warriors like us, Kor told his advisors. Their history shows they understand conquest and power. Perhaps they can be turned against their new Council friends. Kor dispatched infiltration ships toward Earth's solar system, hoping to make contact before the Council could prevent it. The Draxian ships used stealth technology to avoid detection, but they underestimated human ingenuity. Back on Earth, radar operator Tom Davis noticed strange anomalies on his screens. The signatures didn't match any known Council vessels, and they were approaching from an unusual vector. He immediately reported the findings to his superiors. "We have unidentified contacts entering the outer system," Avis announced during the daily briefing. "They're using some kind of cloaking technology." "General." Roberts contacted Commander Vex immediately. The alien leader's expression grew serious when he heard the report. "This is troubling," Vex admitted. "Those signatures match Draxian stealth ships. They are likely here to recruit your species for their war against the Council." The Draxians were a militaristic race that had refused to join the galactic community peacefully. Instead, they conquered weaker species and forced them into their empire. The Council had been trying to contain their expansion for centuries. "What do they want with us?" President Jackson asked during an emergency meeting. "Your FTL technology and your warrior nature," Vex replied. "Combined with their military might, they could pose a serious threat to galactic peace." The Council fleet moved to intercept the Draxian ships, but the aliens had already landed on Earth's moon. A small team of Draxian soldiers established a hidden base in a lunar crater, then sent an encrypted message to Earth's governments. The message reached several world leaders simultaneously. General Kor's face appeared on secure screens, his reptilian features twisted into what might have been a smile. "Humans of Earth, I am General Kor of the Draxian Empire. We offer you true partnership, not the condescending guardianship of the Council. Join us, and together we will rule the galaxy." The offer was tempting to some human factions. Earth's military leaders had chafed under Council restrictions, wanting to explore and expand without alien oversight. Several nations secretly considered. The Draxian proposal. Dr. Thompson found himself caught in the middle of the controversy. The Draxians specifically requested his FTL research, promising to share their advanced weapons technology in return. Some government officials pressured him to cooperate. "Think of what we could accomplish," argued Defense Secretary Williams. "With their military knowledge and our FTL drive, humanity could become a major galactic power." But Thompson remembered Commander Vex's warnings about the Draxians. Their empire was built on conquest and slavery. Entire species had been wiped out or subjugated by their expansion campaigns. "I won't help them turn my discovery into a weapon of conquest," Thompson declared firmly. The crisis came to a head when Draxian agents attempted to infiltrate Thompson's laboratory. Captain Mitchell, who had been preparing for the Pioneer mission, led a security team to protect the facility. The firefight that followed was humanity's first combat against alien forces. The human soldiers fought bravely, but Draxian technology was superior. Just as the situation seemed hopeless, Council reinforcements arrived. Commander Vex personally led the assault that drove the Draxian infiltrators back to their lunar base. "You fought well," Vex told Mitchell after the battle. "Your species shows honor in defending what is right, not just what is profitable." The incident forced humanity to make a choice. They could accept the Draxian offer and gain power through conquest, or remain with the Council and earn respect through peaceful exploration. The decision would determine not just Earth's future, but potentially the fate of the entire galaxy. The emergency session of the United Nations lasted 3 days. Representatives from every nation debated humanity's response to the Draxian offer. The chamber buzzed with heated arguments as delegates weighed the consequences of their decision. "We could become a galactic superpower overnight," insisted Ambassador Rivera from Brazil. "The Draxians offer us weapons, territory, and immediate respect throughout the galaxy." But others disagreed strongly. "Respect built on fear isn't real respect," countered Ambassador Smith from Canada. "The Council offers us genuine partnership and long-term stability." Outside the UN building, protests filled the streets. Some humans demanded alliance with the Draxians, seeing it as humanity's chance to claim their rightful place among the stars. Others supported the Council, believing peaceful cooperation was the only moral path forward Dr. Thompson watched the debates from his laboratory, knowing his FTL technology was at the center of the controversy. Both sides needed his research to achieve their goals. The weight of the decision pressed heavily on his shoulders. Commander, Vex arrived at Thompson's lab with an unusual request. "The Council wishes to offer you something no species has ever received," he said quietly. "Full access to our most advanced technologies and immediate membership without probation." The offer was unprecedented. Species typically waited decades or centuries to earn full Council membership. The proposal would make humanity equal partners with civilizations thousands of years older. "There is one condition," Vex continued. "You must help us stop the Draxians permanently. Your FTL technology could give us the advantage we need to end their expansion once and for all." Thompson considered the implications. Using his discovery as a weapon went against everything he believed in, even if the cause was just. He had created FTL travel to unite humanity with the stars, not to wage war across the galaxy. Asterisk. Meanwhile, General Kor grew impatient with humanity's hesitation. From his lunar base, he launched a demonstration of Draxian power. 3 of his ships attacked a nearby asteroid, completely destroying it with advanced plasma weapons. The message was clear. Join us or face consequences. The attack pushed several nations toward the Draxian alliance. China and Russia secretly opened negotiations with Kor, promising support in exchange for military technology. The unity of Earth's response began to fracture. President Jackson called an emergency meeting with world leaders. "We're being torn apart by this decision," he warned. "If we can't present a united front, we'll be vulnerable to both sides." Captain Mitchell proposed a different solution. "Let me take the Pioneer to the galactic capital," he suggested. "We can address the full Council directly and present humanity's case ourselves." The journey to the Council homeworld would take 2 weeks using traditional FTL drives. However, Thompson's quantum field technology could make the trip in just 3 days. It would be the first long-distance test of his improved system. Against the advice of his security team, President Jackson agreed to accompany the mission. "Humanity needs to speak with one voice," he declared. "I'll represent our species before the full Council." The Pioneer launched under heavy security, escorted by both human and Council ships. As they entered hyperspace using Thompson's drive, even the alien observers were amazed by the smooth, efficient journey. Traditional FTL travel felt rough and disorienting, but Thompson's method was almost imperceptible. "Your technology is truly remarkable," admitted Chief Scientist Nala during the flight. "The energy efficiency alone could revolutionize galactic civilization." However, the peaceful journey was interrupted by a Draxian ambush. General Kor had positioned a fleet along the route to the Council capital, hoping to capture the Pioneer and force humanity's cooperation. The battle was intense but brief. The Draxian ships were powerful, but they hadn't anticipated Thompson's latest modification to his FTL drive. By rapidly shifting between normal space and hyperspace, the Pioneer could effectively teleport short distances, making it nearly impossible to target. Captain Mitchell used this advantage brilliantly, appearing behind enemy ships and striking their vulnerable points before vanishing again. The Council escorts were amazed by the tactical possibilities of Thompson's technology. "We've never seen anything like this," reported Commander Vex as they watched the Draxian fleet retreat. "Your FTL system isn't just efficient, it's revolutionary for space combat." The demonstration had unintended consequences. By showing the military applications of his discovery, Thompson had made both sides even more desperate to control his technology. The Council now saw how his drive could end the Draxian threat permanently, while Kor realized he needed humanity's alliance more than ever. As the Pioneer approached the Council capital, Thomson faced a terrible realization. His peaceful invention had become the key to galactic warfare. Whatever decision humanity made would determine whether his discovery brought peace or unleashed unprecedented destruction across the stars. The fate of the galaxy now rested in human hands, and the choices made in the next few days would echo through cosmic history. Asterisk.